Alright, so this is the new BRWRY system. As you can see, I have a Raspberry Pi here, and then one of the Adafruit prototyping plates. On top of the prototyping plate, there's this, I don't remember what it's called, it's a bidirectional something. Basically, it changes the voltage from the 3.3 volt that the Raspberry Pi uses to the 5 volt that's needed for this relay board, which is a Sane Smart 16-channel relay board. I'm only using 3 of the channels at the moment. So it takes a 12-volt input, which will end up driving the electric ball valve that's in the bottom of the kettle. So from that, that's run by 12 volts there, and then I send 12 volts to the solid-state relays, which are actually in this cabinet. This is my old cabinet. I'm going to make a new one at some point that's going to be much smaller, but for all intents and purposes, this works fine. Right now, it's set up for, there's 2 heating elements. They're 1500 watt heating elements, which means I need to split them up into 2 different circuit breakers. One's plugged in at a GFI outlet there, and then the other is a different breaker, another GFI outlet. These are both in the kitchen, so whoever did the kitchen did a good job wiring it. So those run the heating elements. They're on separate breakers controlled by the same Pi. And then there's a pump also, which is a peristaltic pump, so it creates its own suction. So unlike a March pump, that needs to have unlike the March pump that needs to have it gravity fed and it primed already. This will self-prime. So with that, I'm going to give a little demo. We'll go over here to the iPad. See if that'll adjust. Okay. So this is a new interface. You can set the target temperature here, and then when you want to assign that to the heating element or the pump, you can do it with this interface. So you would type that in, hit target, and then it'll automatically target. I'll show that in a second. And then these are the controls for the heating element, the pump, and the valve. So this is actually kind of hard to do. Alright, so right now I'll turn the heating element on. And you can tell it turned on because the light that was on here went off. These 2 also lit up, which means power is going to the heating elements, and you can see it kind of bubbling on the heating elements. So that's working great. So far, so good. I'll turn that off. I'm going to open the valve. Need to change the caption to open and close. So you can kind of hear the valve open. I don't think you're not going to be able to see it on there. But what I'll do is I'll turn the pump on. Which obviously it's on. You can see it going. You don't really want to close the valve, so at some point I'm going to do safety features to, there's an emergency off button too, which will turn everything off. It doesn't do anything with the valve, I gotta fix that. The valves were a late addition. So everything works. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to set a target temperature. And I'll set it to, I don't know, 100. Actually, I'll set it to something lower, maybe 65. So now 65 popped up on the heating element button. You can see that it's red. Red means that the elements are actually on. So that's what the program is telling it to do. Once it reaches temperature, which it'll do in a second, looks like, it'll change orange. So that means it's still targeting something, but it's at temperature and the element's not actually on. I guess I'll... And I did throw some ice in here, which I think is mostly gone now. I was trying to calibrate the sensor. But that's the general idea. So I'm going to sanitize everything and hopefully start my brew day.